Hi, good afternoon, morning, whatever it is where you are at. Welcome to another edition of Inside Lowell. This Inside Lowell podcast is coming to you from the WellPoint Studios. WellPoint, the only health plan offering healthcare benefits exclusively to Massachusetts GIC members. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. So, joining with me today, we have Lieutenant LaFontaine. Thank you so much for joining. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well.
Wonderful. And Lieutenant LaFontaine, if you couldn't tell by the shirt, he is with the Lowell Firefighter Department. We're here today to talk about the Lowell Firefighter Road Race, right?
That's correct. It starts October 5th, which is actually next Saturday. 9:30 a.m. is when the race starts. It's approximately 5K, 3.1 miles. It's going to be starting and ending right by the Firefighters Club, right off of Fletcher Street. For all the entries, we're going to have a T-shirt up to the first, I believe it was 200 and 250.
Yep.
But hopefully you can register before we run out of shirts. But it also comes with a barbecue. We're going to have live music. So we're going to also hold a block party as well. So why everybody attends.
Nice.
All
So the
the
block party is by where
Yeah, it's going
the
to be right on.
firefighter club is.
Correct. It's right on the side of the Firefighters Club. We're going to block off Willie Street.
Yep.
And all the proceeds are going to go to Lieutenant Chun So. He's one of our guys that unfortunately had a stroke at the beginning of the year.
It's really just to help raise money and the benefit, because every year you guys have a cause, right?
Correct.
For the road race.
And this year, it was unfortunate. It was one of our own, which is Lieutenant So.
Right.
Had the stroke. So all the proceeds is going to help him. He's in recovery right now, but it's kind of helping the little expenses him and his family need to get through that.
Right, right. And have you worked alongside of him?
I have a while back. Lieutenant So has been on the job for a while.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So he's like friend and your family, right? Firefighter family.
we all are
Yeah,
family on the job. Yeah.
for sure. No, I think that's amazing. And one of the things I can say for myself is I've been a part of the road race for a little bit. And you guys always have such dedicated firefighters that are there, and some even run with their packs on. Is that something that you guys do that's like symbolic when they do that, when they do the 5K?
Yeah, well, some guys do it as a challenge
Mm-hmm.
to get in shape. It's I don't encourage it for everybody to do
Right.
because it is, especially if it's a hot day.
Yeah.
But it's an extra 50 pounds you're putting on.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. You'll definitely see some guys try and run with their gear on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because I know, I ran the first one I did was with my son on my back because his legs were getting tired and I was feeling like, oh, he's heavy. And then I saw a firefighter running past me with all his gear and I'm like, all right, let me suck this up because this is not that heavy compared to what you're wearing,
yeah,
because you said it's at least 40 pounds.
yeah, 40 to 50 pounds.
Yeah, and my son probably was like 35. But I was like, all right, I could do this. So that was my inspiration to run. So just a little bit of information is they're able to register. What is it? Race roster?
Raceroster.com.
Yep.
You'll find the Lowell Firefighters Road Race.
Mm-hmm.
Just go and register. We should also, if you don't like to use the online portion, you should be able to register the day of the race at the race itself.
Okay. Okay. Because I did go on the site just to kind of confirm for our viewers that they're able to go on raceroster.com and you can do a search. So the search I did was Lowell Firefighter Road Race
Yep.
2024. But we'll also plug the link in just so that way people can go in. And then one of the other things is that they're able to do a GoFundMe, correct? In case they're not able to make the 5K and they want to help, take care of Lieutenant
Correct.
So's.
We have Lieutenant So's GoFundMe site
Mm-hmm.
right on the registration. So if you don't want to register for the race, you can also make a donation on the GoFundMe site as well. And
Okay.
that would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. So I would definitely encourage people because obviously people, this is the time of year everyone's got a lot of events going on. So maybe they can't attend and just encourage them to at least provide a donation on the GoFundMe. Because I think that would probably be one of the best things to do, unless people are runners and they want to just be like, let's go do this 5K and crush it.
Uh, yeah.
Would you say that would be something that you would encourage if they're not able to, do the 5K that day specifically? And it's not just a 5K, right? They could walk or run,
Oh,
right?
we 100% encourage the walk run, just as long as everybody's there to having a good time.
Right, right. And then after, there's a fun part of it because you run and then it's like if you're 21 plus.
Yes, and thank you for throwing that into 21 plus, because we do provide some alcohol
Yeah.
for the 21 and over. Um, we do have a full bar for the Firefighters Club, but the ones that register will provide like some free beer
Mm-hmm.
as well while the kegs last.
Right, right. So first come, first serve.
Correct.
And then a barbecue, you're going to have some music. And would you say, because I can say for myself, but I don't know, it's really more of just like a family oriented kind of environment where come do the 5K. This is what we're supporting this year, and then stay after. Don't just leave, right? You want people to
You'll see
come.
people hanging after the race, like
Yeah.
linger around, having a good time for at least 2-3 hours afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So just encouraging more of a community event, right?
correct.
Yep. And if they want to get some groceries after, they can just go across the street to Market Basket.
Yep. And well, one of the things we also give a lot of medals out for this race. And what part of the race we have a few categories, like for the age group as well as the top firefighter, female and male,
Oh.
the top overall runner
Mm-hmm.
for top three, and then we're also having another category, like a team competition. So we'll be racing against the individuals. That's like a first responder category.
Right.
So people from other departments as well as ambulance services as well.
Oh, nice.
So that's like a first responder category. So the top three in each one, first, second, and third, with three individuals.
So are your categories for first responders? It's firefighters, ambulance or slash EMT, and then
Police, yeah,
police.
yeah.
How many of the cops show up?
Uh, we'll find out
We're
next
gonna
day.
find out. No shade, but Battle of the Badges, the firefighter department always wins, but right. But no, I think that's amazing. And then also obviously registration fees because now we're past the deadline.
Correct. The registration fee went up to $40.
Okay.
Um, the
And they can register same day or
correct,
through the site.
correct,
And it's $40 and $30, right?
correct.
So
$40 for
17 plus.
correct,
And then $30 for under 17.
correct.
Okay. And then just a reminder that what we're doing this year is the benefit for Lieutenant So. For the people who know him and love him, yes, support him. And if you don't know him, just know what he does and has done for the community. How long has he been a firefighter, would you
Um,
say?
I wouldn't really know. I'm going to guess maybe more than 10 years,
Yeah.
10 to
So
15
enough
years.
time.
Yeah.
A lot more time than I've done. I have not run into a burning building or saved any cats out of trees. But yeah, how long have you been on the force actually?
About 22 years.
22.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. So did you always think I want to be a firefighter or what were your goals when when you're in school and you're 5 and it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What did you say?
I really, I actually thought I was going to be a cop.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then I guess I went to the military and I came out and I just was more drawn to being a firefighter.
Yeah. And now 22 years later, here we are,
Yeah.
right? What was that like though, the process of you going through is it still called an academy? Because I know they have
It
police
is.
academy. So what is it called when you're becoming a firefighter?
Um,
Is it like Firefighter Academy,
It's
something
just
like
a
that?
firefighter academy.
Yeah.
We just called a recruit
Okay.
as you're going through.
Yeah.
Um, but it's I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but like I had a good time.
Yeah.
Um, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, there was a lot of running. Um,
The running is serious, huh? And you had to do the running, I'm guessing, with the equipment, or is that just
no, they didn't do that.
pre-equipment?
So yeah, every morning, and it all probably depends on who the instructors are. We had some instructors that loved running, so we had a gas field at one part, and we just the whole academy class ran together.
Did you
And
say a gas field?
yeah,
Oh my
so
goodness.
at the Stowe Academy they had actually had a gas field, so like you would practice like extinguishing like, like gas fires and
Okay.
but they had like a giant circle track around it,
Mm-hmm.
and so the class would like do Indian runs, which
Mm-hmm.
the last guy in the pack would run all the way to the front, and you kept doing that.
Oh, so you rotate who's on
Yeah.
the back? Okay. All right. How long is that? How long is your
The
training for?
for us, I'm guessing, and because it's been a while, it was around maybe 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't, don't quote me on the exact
Right.
number, but
It's been 22 years. I can't even remember what I wore yesterday, so it's okay. One of the other things I will say is I remember a friend of mine was getting ready to prepare to go into being a firefighter, and you have to learn like all the routes through whatever city you're going to be in, right? So you
correct.
have to know, okay, this is where we can go, especially with having a truck and all that kind of stuff. Is that accurate or is
Yeah, it is. You know,
okay?
I grew up in Lowell, and I thought I
Mhm.
knew every street, and then you realize how much you don't know when
Right.
until you get on. There's over 1,500 streets, um, and then it's like relearning something that you thought you already knew.
Right.
So you're constantly learning. Even now on the job, this is a type of profession that you're always learning.
Right.
You're never, it never stops.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can't get too comfortable.
no.
So how often are you in a truck and you have your sirens and lights on and people just aren't moving out of the way? I'm sure you get that because I'm that person. I'm in my car and I'm like, let me move over and get out of the way. But sometimes people just, I'm like, what are they doing? Did they not see? Or it's a big red truck coming at you.
Yeah, I sometimes I get it. Some people I catch the sirens quicker than others.
Right.
Um, uh, but I don't know. We just
Yeah.
managed to get around.
I know. I see it because sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, are they gonna tear this car up? Or what's happening? I don't know what's gonna happen." And you guys are like precision, almost like Tom Brady, you know, going through these cars. I'm like, this person not moving.
I
That is
do have
so
memories
insane.
going down Merrimack Street a long time ago, and sirens going on, pulling the air horn, and the guy was going like a Sunday driver had no clue. I don't know if he had his own personal radio
Right.
on full blast and just was completely unaware that we were trying to get around him. And it just
Right. Like, what are you doing?
and then finally
Get
we
out of
got
the
to a
way.
light and then realized we are there, kind of gave us a death glare because
Yeah.
we were trying to get around him.
So
So
when you first started, because right now obviously you're a lieutenant, so you have different responsibilities. So you're basically managing, the other firefighters. When you first started, what was that experience like? Were you like, I'm happy to be here and oh my goodness.
So my experience, just like every other person that usually gets on that job, no matter what city you're thinking it's the greatest job in the world, and I still do. It's constantly no 2 days the same. You're always moving, and then when you're working with a bunch of guys um, from different areas and aspects of views, like but they all have the same focus of the job, so it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I love that. And if I can segue into one other thing, I hear firefighters are the best cooks. So are
I,
you one of those guys that
I
cooks, or what's the
you know,
deal?
I gotta be careful because if somebody's watching this, they're gonna be like, I'm glad it's not live. um, I can cook to survive for myself and
Right.
just to get by. I'm not like, there are some guys that should be like gourmet working in a restaurant, but
Chefs.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's I can cook, so I wouldn't. I'm not gonna die.
Right.
But
You're the one eating the food, you're not cooking it,
yeah,
so you take advantage of the people who are cooking in your
correct.
firehouse.
There's some guys it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So then you tend to lean on them more to cook, so they just keep getting better and better because they just
Mm-hmm.
do it more often.
Right.
So,
Right.
but
I feel
no.
like I need to crash a firehouse and be like, what y'all making today? Because I need to see it and I want to
So
taste it.
the best times to do that is around the holidays.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Even so, I work in the training center. Even over there, we cook prime rib. But like a lot of the guys, all the great cooks are coming out around
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, near Christmas, New
Right.
Year's Eve. Like so, around all those holidays, you're gonna have something great
Yeah.
dishes coming out. But the guys are gonna splurge a little more on the meals.
Yeah. And that's great because obviously you guys, there's no days off on emergencies, you know?
No,
So if you're not with your family and your family may be having meals and you're, in the firehouse or what have you, right? It's, if I'm not able to be home, this is my other home, right? Because they always say where you work is your basically where you
correct.
spend most of your time. So to have people make those meals that you may not be able to enjoy with your family. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I got hung up. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. We're good. We're just talking about food and having fun. So are you mentioned the training house. You're in the one on across from Shed Park?
Yeah, so a lot of people know that as the Oakland Firehouse or the
Yep.
Oakland Station.
Okay.
Um, it was actually taken out of service in like the early '90s,
Mm-hmm.
but then we kept it, and now we just made it into our training station. So
Right.
I run all the EMS. There's Herman Sousa you met,
Yes.
Captain Sousa.
Yep.
He does all the training, whereas like firefighting training. Then we have Anthony Late.
Yep.
He's a community education, so name kind of speaks for itself in each of our
Yeah.
titles.
Yeah. And then you guys have the touch a truck and you guys are all over
Yeah, so
the city.
the touch and truck that a lot of the communities are familiar with. That's probably like Anthony's doing. So
Mm-hmm.
community education. So he's really big on that. He gets like the community involved in each firehouse. Um, so so all the stuff you know about the touch a truck and everything about that. That's Anthony.
Yeah. I think my first interaction, if I'm not mistaken, was during the Lowell Folk Festival because I was
Yeah.
next to the touch a truck where they're teaching fire safety for kids and they do the simulations in the truck
Yeah.
for people who don't know, right?
So that's still part of like that's community education. That's
Mm-hmm.
what Anthony does, and
Yeah.
that's he does a great job on that. So like in that training center where I'm working at, all three of us have like a different role.
Yep.
Um, and like when we were just talking about like anything in the communities aspect or in the schools, education, that's more of it on Anthony. Myself
Right.
is EMS, EMS training, uh, making sure the guys have the Con Ed stuff. Um, Anything that has to do with the EMS aspect in the city for our
Yeah.
guys, I deal with. And then training, firefighter related, that's Herman.
Mm-hmm.
That's he takes, yeah, he does takes care of all that.
Yeah. No, I think that's great that you guys offer all these different resources in the community for sure, because I can say my interactions with the Lowell Fire Department, you guys do a lot of educating as well. Again, with the touch a truck and then going to different community organizations around the city. And obviously, not everyone that's there is from Lowell. It could be Chelmsford, Barica, Tewksbury, things like that. Because
Correct.
where you guys are located, off of over by Shed Park, that's like basically Tewksbury is like a stone's throw away, which is where I currently live. But you guys have so many different things that you offer to the community, which I think is great. And even if we can go back to the 5K for the road race, you guys every year, there's always a different cause that you guys raise money for. You know, we're raising money this year, right, for Lieutenant So, which unfortunately, this is the reason, but to be able to come together as a community, I think is amazing, where people are able to pour in and give money and appreciate what it is that you guys do on a regular basis. Who are some of the other people or organizations, if have it off the top of your head, that the 5Ks have benefited?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest, because this is my first year actually
Okay.
running.
So then I'm
Um,
gonna just not, I'm gonna take that question off the table then.
so I do apologize, but you are right that every year we do
Hmm.
find another charity. Um, the year before, last year, Gunther, who
Hmm.
ran the race, I wish I could remember the charity he donated to last year,
Yeah.
but
So do you guys have different people that kind of like take charge for the road races every year to kind of
so
say, this is what we're doing this year, this is where this money's going?
every year, like one of the guys would kind of step up. Like for a long time, we had like Lieutenant Sean Sorois. He
Hmm.
did it for quite a few years, and we had
Yeah.
another Julio Pastrana. He
Hmm.
ran it for a few years, and I know last year there was a couple of guys like Buntha. It was Dylan and
Hmm. I
one of those.
remember that one because that was at the Bunting Club.
Yes.
I was there.
So they so traditionally we hit the race started even when I was a kid. As long as I remember, it was at the firefighters club.
Hmm.
The guys ran it last year. They did a great job.
Yeah.
They were just trying something different.
Yeah.
It worked. It was great. Um, this year we're gonna kind of go back to the
Go back to the roots.
yeah.
That's how folk was it not Folk Fest, Winterfest was this year, because it was always downtown and then it moved and then you go back. So it's like where people are normally, because I know my first experience was by the firefighter club, and then we
Yeah.
went all through downtown and then came back, and I was like, oh, I drove by this building all the time and I didn't realize that that was like y'all spot. This is the firefighter club, this is where we hang out.
The that race has been going for a while. I remember in so when you do a lot of the road races around, most of them are 5Ks.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, the firefighters road race used to be a 5 miler, but
Oh.
5 mile road races are kind
Mm.
of not too many people run them.
Yeah, they're like, let's do
So
about
now,
three-ish.
yeah, so now everybody going from a 5 mile to like it's like a 5K.
Right, right, right.
But it used to be a 5 mile road race with a 1 mile fun run.
Okay.
I do remember that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um,
So, how many years, if you know this, I don't know, I don't want to put you on the spot, but how many years have you guys been doing this? Because it
um,
doesn't say it on the flyer. I was looking for it and I'm
so
like,
I have to do a little,
a little digging.
yeah, I have to do research too. So I'm only guessing right now. Um,
Well, you've been in the department for 22 years, you said, right?
so this is going back when I was in high school, and I know it
So
was around
this
the early
is
90s.
more than 20 years, I would guess, right?
So at least 40,
Okay.
maybe 30 to 40, if I had to
Okay.
guess. But those numbers, I have to
Yeah. I'm
kind of
gonna need to put
pry.
a request in. So to the Lowell Fire Department, put that on your flyer so people know how long
Yeah,
y'all been doing this, because it's not like, oh, this is new, because it's not new.
the only thing that I've seen in the past, from year to year, at times it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes, like last year we had it in October, like we are having this year.
Right.
It's been in the beginning of the year or in the
Yeah.
summer, like so. It's been bouncing around, like trying to fit the desk spot.
Identify
Yeah.
the best time to do it. Right.
But every year the guys been running, it's always been a great success, no
Yeah.
matter what time of year.
Now, my question is, because I know with the scheduling with the firefighters and stuff, and obviously everyone cannot be involved because they may be, on the clock. How do you coordinate to do something like this where everyone has different schedules and different days off? Like, what is the consensus? How do you figure that out?
Uh, so there's 4 groups.
Okay.
Usually the guys are working that group. If they want to run the race, they'll find a way to run it. Like, so either get somebody to cover them or take the day off.
Okay.
Maybe a couple of guys might do that. We'll actually see some guys on duty there. We should have ladder 3, kind of like raising the ladder with an American flag, which is kind of pretty cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, and hopefully, like, some of the guys that are working, if they're not busy, they swim by to get something to eat. But
Right. So they're almost like even still on shift, just like, oh, I'm coming by for like 30 minutes. Because, it never stops because you can't, it's like working in a hospital. You can't be
Correct.
like, oh, we're shutting the hospital down today. You can't shut down the fire department or the police department or the EMTs and things like that. But you guys sound like you have a great system to make it work.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. But all the guys are on it, kind of like make the system work. So
Right.
it's
Right.
it's kind of works on its own.
Yeah. Now, are you participating in the 5K on the 5th?
Not this year. So
Okay.
I'll be like around the Firefighters Club, just
Okay.
helping organizing the race itself.
All right. All right. Well, I'll be there.
Are you running?
Well, I'm singing the national anthem for you all
you
first.
drop the mic and you take off.
Then I drop the mic and I'm like, let's do it. And maybe I'll win something. I don't know. I won't be the fastest, I'll tell you. I'll be there participating and just happy to be involved. But yeah, no, 5Ks for me are like my good soft spot right there. Like that's my, go-to. When you say 5 miler and plus, I'm like, maybe not.
I'm hoping everybody will enjoy this one. It's a little different. You ran it once when it went all through like downtown.
Yeah.
This one, it's kind of come up. It's going to start by the Firefighters Club down Cross Street, then go down Adams, up Salem, then back down Merrimack Street from Pawtucket.
Yeah.
But then we'll take that left in front of the City Hall, over heading towards the Songs Arena. Then we'll use about a mile. It'll be running down the Riverwalk, which is it's pretty
nice.
cool. But then once from there, it comes up by the UMass Lowell, back on to Pawtucket Street, then up and down Fletcher Street to finish the race.
Yeah, that's a good route. That's a good route.
I hope it works out
and
well.
this is the first of its kind of that route, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll have my sneakers ready. So after I sing, I can be like, do my stretches, get it in. I just don't want to be last. That's always my thing. If I'm going to do a run, I don't want to be last. Like when I see someone running with a baby carriage, I'm like, okay, I got to keep up with her. I don't want to be behind.
You just got to look around like, I just got to make sure I beat the walkers.
Yeah, like if you're walking, I'm going to beat you for sure. But I just want to get my stuff together. But yeah, anything else that we should know about the race that you can think of offhand?
No, just if you can come down, I'm sure you're going to have a good time. There's plenty of food, drinks, and live music.
Yeah. Who doesn't love live music, right?
I just, if you were part of the Firefighters Club last year when it was at the Bunting Club, the band that they used, I just got the same band. So if you enjoy that band from last year, it's going to be the same one. Yeah,
that's awesome. Because I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, they were indoors because where the Bunting Club, it was like outside on the side of the building, and the band was inside, right?
Correct.
Okay. So this time, are they going to be inside? They're going to be inside the firefighter
we haven't
club?
discussed that. Like, we don't know yet.
Okay. TBD, to be determined.
It all depends on where we can set up.
Logistics
the
and all
equipment
that.
and everything. But, the club itself is a lot smaller. So even if they are inside, you can hear it very clearly from being right outside.
Yeah.
where the bunning club is a little more spread out.
Right, right, right. Well, I'm sure it will be an amazing time, and I'm looking forward to it
Oh, awesome.
personally. I am super excited to be a part of it and having you here today, Lieutenant LaFontaine. So, I am going to just recap some details so that our viewers can know the information and where they can go. And we're good? Anything else you'd like to share?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. I hope that I see everybody and come on down.
Yeah, for sure. All
Oh, that
right.
was
Well, you heard it from our lieutenant's own mouth, from Lieutenant LaFontaine from the Lowell Firefighter Department. We will be having a Lowell Firefighter 5K road race on October the 5th. Tickets are $40 for 17 up and $30 for 17 and under. Is that accurate? Am
That's
I
correct.
lying? Okay. And that's only because for y'all who didn't already get your tickets, that's why, you missed your deadline. But we are excited for this event and we look forward to seeing everyone there. And also, the location will be at the Lowell Firefighters Club. And then also, just to know, raceroster.com is where you're able to purchase your tickets to register. We will do the posting on this podcast and have the link there for you to be able to just click on the link. You don't have to do any additional work or anything like that. And we're so excited to have this road race that's over 30 years, right? But thank you all so much for listening, and we look forward to your support. And also, we want to recognize Lieutenant Saw's family, and feel free on that link as well. If you're unable to attend the race, feel free to, there is a GoFundMe that you're able to click on that link as well to help support him and his family and appreciate those who put their lives on the line and also their families who are part of that as well. We appreciate you. Sending much love from Inside Lowell, and this is Tea Time. Thank you so much for listening. Feel free to like and to share. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your week.